I know you're frozen, bro.
No, go right ahead, Dr. Gadsden. We're on live, sir.
Okay, okay, real good. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Writers Workshop. We're here on the Voice 17104 Harrisburg. And that was Brother Chris Thomas, who is the owner, Pastor Chris Thomas, who just went off. By the way, Brother Chris, I never asked you how did the your march go?
Oh, sure. Give me one quick second here.
Mm-hmm. Sure. I heard some little feedback about the other program that was taking place with Macasia and those folks.
Sure, the
Yeah.
African American Expo that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
By the
Mm-hmm.
young professionals of color. Yeah, that was a wonderful event as well. The heat was excruciating. We had
Ooh,
a faithful group of about almost 2 dozen or so.
nice.
Um, the program was shorter at the Capitol Fountain than we anticipated because
Mm-hmm.
we didn't anticipate it to be 3 hours altogether, even though we should have added up the math ahead of time. An
Mm-hmm.
hour for prayer, an hour for the march, and then 2 hours for the service. That's almost 4 hours. We quit after an hour being at the Capitol, but the event was successful.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Representative David Adam Madison came down and presented a
Yeah.
proclamation
Mm-hmm.
for the day, just recognizing some of the work my wife has done in the community.
Okay.
So we were well pleased. There are many events going on at the same time, and we wish them all well. And we thank God for
Absolutely.
blessing us. Some of the events were rained out, but we weren't rained out, so we thank God for that too.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, we drove down. We were on our way to DC, but we decided to go down and we were gonna, stay for a minute, and then we decided not to and just got hit the road. But yeah, so that's good. I'm glad everything worked out. And I know the rain did come in a little bit later that day or something. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I think
forgot
the
about
Arts
that.
Fest may have been rained out a little later on.
Oh,
We
that's
got a
right.
little spritz here and there, but that was actually refreshing because the temperatures were so,
I know.
they weren't conducive, especially
Mm.
for a little baby. But anyway, we muscled our way through. And we give God the praise, man.
It was called March for Jesus. That was the title.
A kingdom march for Jesus.
A
Yes, sir.
Kingdom March for Jesus. All right. Yeah. Well, keep doing it, brother. Keep doing it. That's all I can say. Good stuff. Well, again, welcome everyone, and welcome to what's called the Writers Workshop. I'm Nathaniel Gadsden, and hey, is that how you doing, Sister Sally? Right?
Hello,
Yeah,
sir. How are you?
I'm doing good. Long time no see.
Yes, sir.
All right, all right. Well, good to hear from you. Hope everything's going well.
Yes, sir. Today I finished the cover of my book.
Oh,
So got
wonderful.
it. Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you have? Are you going to show it tonight, or are you just holding off?
I'm holding off. If I have to, I could show a photo. It's in my phone. Bear
Well,
with me one
you don't
second.
know. You just do it when you're ready. I don't want to, just do it when you're ready. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
but that's good. Congratulations.
Yeah,
And so
finished.
any word on when the book might be ready?
Hopefully really soon. I did everything is pretty much done. The cover's done. The about the author is done. The acknowledgments is all complete. So just one final step and then I'll be ready for publishing. I am so
Excellent. Very good.
happy.
That is
Yes.
great. God bless. I'm glad to hear that. And I hope that when have it done, you come on and talk about it on the Writers Workshop here. Let
Most
people
sir,
know all
I
about
Yes, I
it.
will. Most definitely. I have to give you all a shout out. I give thanks to you all. I thank you so much. That's why I want to join tonight to tell you thank you so much for your support.
Fantastic. Why don't you introduce yourself to everybody who people don't know you?
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Sally Johns, and by the grace of God, I was brought to Mr. Gaston and the crew. And my very first book, I just completed the cover today. My book is about epilepsy. I have epilepsy. I made a
Hmm.
couple 5 years ago teaching people about CBD hemp oil, the natural herbs, because the medicines are very dangerous.
Hmm.
I've been going through ups and downs, but I now switch my medical care all the way up to Philadelphia. I no longer work
Hmm.
with
Okay.
any doctors in this area. I just had surgery on the 18th of April, and
Very
they had
good.
to go 2 times. Yes, they had to replace the device that I have implanted in my chest. It wasn't
Okay.
being properly taken care of in this area. They were ignoring me for years. The
Mm.
device had relocated,
Okay.
which is causing severe chest pain, increasing seizures, and by the grace of God, I'm going to an amazing facility. They
All
had
right.
to give me
Mhm.
2 surgeries, get it stationed properly, and I'm back to myself. I can now sit in my chair, my writing chair, my work
Mhm.
chair. I couldn't sit up. I
All
couldn't.
right.
I was doing bad, but by the grace of God, I'm able to move again. And my
Mhm.
purpose is to help educate my people, and that's why I'm here.
That's fantastic. And your book is on epilepsy. What's the title? Have you titled your book yet?
Yes, sir. It's called Living with Epilepsy in My Own Words by Sally N. Johns.
Go ahead. I like that.
Sir, thank you.
In my
Now,
own words, that's
in
good.
my own words, I can let them know what I've been through and then let them
Hmm.
know medicines that work and also the herbs. I'm teaching us how to eat naturally, herbs that help,
Hmm.
the side effects, and basically trying to teach people how to advocate because I am now looking forward to starting a nonprofit organization of
Hmm.
advocating for people. My job is to help
Good,
and I'm ready to do it.
good, good. That's a huge issue in most communities, right? A lot of
Yes,
people
sir.
don't think about it, but epilepsy touches a lot of people.
It does. And a lot of people assume that it's a mental illness. And no, it's not a mental illness. And you're not mentally ill. A lot of people don't understand. They don't take the time. And a lot of the doctors don't know. I've
Hmm.
had a few doctors in trouble. A few doctors have lost their license. You don't just prescribe me medicine or say you want to just give me surgery. You need to do your job properly. And a
Hmm.
baker went with me for my to the, what is it, Philadelphia? She went with me. And like she
Okay.
said, they're intimidated by your knowledge. She goes, I'm retired, but I'm getting back in the field. She says, you're very well educated, and they don't seem to like that. But you
Mm. Hmm. Okay.
they look at us that we're all ignorant. We're not ignorant, and you're going to talk to me respectfully, and you're not going to just poison me with these medicines. I can't take
Hmm.
medicine like they were giving me here. And for
Yeah.
sure, the doctor in Philadelphia made it clear Miss Johns should not have been given those medicines. The device did relocate. You guys should have helped her sooner.
Hmm. Okay. Hey, listen,
Sometimes
we have to be our own advocates. If we don't advocate for our own selves, who will, And
no
a lot
one
of
will.
times people think because they have that title that, well, they have to know what they're talking about. So I won't
Yes,
question them. And that's just the wrong way. That's the wrong
that's
approach.
correct. And I started that my great grandmother years ago, over 30 years ago. I had to advocate for her. They were giving her medicine that she was allergic to, high blood pressure medicine, and
Hmm.
she almost died. And her doctor, I'm a teenager going and I'm telling her she can't take this. It's making her legs swell. The right leg swell, which means that was causing heart issues. He said, your
Yeah.
granddaughter, you should make her study medicine. But if she didn't have me, she could have died. They would have just given her more and more medicine.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
So we have to advocate
That's
for one
right.
another.
That's right. Yeah. Now the doctors in Philadelphia, are they just, regular MDs, or are they specialists in like herbs and stuff like that? Or
With it, it's called Jefferson Health. That's one of the
yeah.
best neurology. John
Mm-hmm.
Hopkins is good, but that's not in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
Jefferson Health is where we want to go. Hershey, not be mean, but we kind of want to stay away from there. A lot of the learning hospitals, you kind of want to stay away. They let the students just do what they want to do, and you can't do that. You have to follow procedure.
Mm-hmm.
You
Okay.
have to be very careful. And that's what I told them. You guys aren't doing your jobs right. I'm not a guinea pig. 20
Mm-hmm.
years ago, I had to go through that. I didn't look sick, so they were just giving me medicine and then assuming, oh, well, she's fine. No, you can't treat me any kind of way.
Okay. Okay.
And when you come in there with your briefcase and your notes and your facts and you contact the medical board and
Mm-hmm.
everyone, they change up on you. Yes, but
Okay.
I
So
have
let
to
me ask you.
go ahead.
Okay. So your book, will it be for the general public, or will it be is it specialized? Is it, like a lot of terminology, medical terminology, or is it something that's more practical, that the
For
average person could. Okay.
It's for everyone. I made it for everyone, and we're breaking it down. There's even going to be like, I'm going to explain what certain things are.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes, for everyone. Yes, sir.
Fantastic. That's good to know.
Medical people can understand it. It's going to be to help people learn. And that's
Okay.
the main thing. My job is to explain things to help people feel more comfortable, just to teach people also to love themselves. When you have a medical condition, it's hard.
It
A lot of
is.
people walk away from you. They're embarrassed of you. They're ashamed. You
Mhm.
love yourself no matter what. You're
Mhm.
not alone. I'm teaching them
Right.
you're not the first person that's going to have seizures. You're not the last person.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, that's
And
right.
my job is to show them that someone does love you. I'm here for you. I'm going to help you. And I'm going to show them how to advocate and how to stand up for themselves. And that's what I want to do.
Have you ever thought of opening up a practice where you just simply work with individuals and families that are experiencing epilepsy?
I was asked to do that by the caretaker. She said, I think that's your calling. You really should do that. And that's
Mhm.
why we're trying to do the nonprofit. So we can do that and also start housing for people because
Mhm.
when people do have medical issues,
Mhm.
sometimes they can't work or
Right.
sometimes let go. I have experienced that. I used to make good money for a lot of companies, but then you get sick. Oh, you're a liability. We don't need to do that. I don't need to make them rich. I need to help other people. Yes,
Mhm.
but that's what I need to do. I've studied neurology before, and I do because people need counseling. They need help. They're afraid. They don't know what foods to eat. They don't know what medicines to take. And I've
Yeah.
said all. I've been through it. I'm willing to help.
Okay, okay, well,
Yeah.
listen, it's definitely needed, that's for sure. And
Yes.
the more education we have, the better off we'll all be, you know. And so
Yes.
that's a good thing. So I hope your book is a runaway bestseller, and
I
that
totally.
everybody will pick it up and say, "Listen, I got to educate myself, find out what I need to do and not do." You know, yeah, to do and not do. Wow, good stuff. And you've been on this journey, you said, for about 5 years, trying to write the book.
Yes, sir. It was copywritten about 3 years ago, but I went ahead and
Okay.
took my time to get it done the proper way. I didn't want to
Hmm.
rush right through it. I didn't want to go with the wrong company. I wanted to do everything the right way. That way I can pour my heart into it. I poured my heart into it, so I want to help other people.
Will it be
Yes.
available on Amazon?
I am trying to get it on Amazon in 3
Okay.
different areas as well. And we're also going to try to do the audiobook for individuals who don't necessarily like to read.
Hmm.
So it's going to take a little bit longer for the audiobook, but everything else will be ready. Yes.
No, that's
And a
great.
neurologist asked me to write it. So I'm going to also let them know. I told one of my practices on the West Coast, one of the old neurologists said I did it, and they're excited. I
Mhm.
told them, thank you so much. They motivated me to do it.
Okay, all right, good stuff, good stuff. So is this going to be a one and done, or are you officially an author now who will produce other works?
Well, I'm a published author now, and I'm thinking about working on something else. I've been slowly working on a project, but yes, I
Good,
don't
good,
think
good.
I have a
Oh,
lot to share, and I want to help. If I can help, I want to do that.
you know, there's a small newspaper called the Black Wall Street, and one of the persons who is, well, she's the editor in chief, and that's Ro Brady, who comes on just about every week. And so, you know, maybe an article around your work and around the issue itself, epilepsy, would be something good for the, you know, for the Black community, for all any community really that wants to read the, you know, the Black Wall Street. So yeah, think about that. You know, they like to receive articles and you want to get the specs, you know, how many words and all that kind of stuff. But they usually ask for articles to be submitted by the 15th of the month, you know.
Oh,
So which will be next Saturday officially, you know, for us. But anyhow, yeah, think about that.
okay, I will most definitely think about that. I actually lost contact with Miss Rowe. We did talk a few times before, but I wouldn't mind doing that. I've been
Hmm.
also Mr. Makaija helping with other projects, so I would
Hmm.
love to work out with that. I
Hmm.
would, because I want to teach the
So
whole community.
yeah, there's a
Yes.
show called Good Day PA on Channel 27, ABC, locally here. And so reach out to them because they bring
Okay.
on all kinds of different people and, you know, this and the fact that you have a book coming out and also the issue itself, you know, epilepsy itself will be a tremendous, you know, I mean, you were on our show, Life Esteem, and did a
Yes.
great job. And
Thank you.
uh, and I got to look to see if we still had, you know, I don't know how I put that up there. I think it goes away after 30 days or something like that. But I'm gonna look to see again if I still have a clipping of that. And maybe we can, you know, run it on Facebook a little bit more or whatever. So yeah, we'll see.
Okay. That'll be nice. And
Mhm.
I look forward to coming on there to introduce my book to the world. You brought me, you
Okay.
helped me. I'm ready. I'm ready. Yes, sir. I give thanks
Well,
to
you can do
you.
it right
And
here, you know. We're speaking to the world right here, quite frankly. Yeah,
all right.
absolutely. How's your son doing?
He's doing magnificent. He's now on summer break. He's
Okay.
feeling much better now since I'm going to the doctor. We actually end up going in a few days. We're going to go back up to Philly for a follow-up. He feels a
Mhm.
little bit more comfortable with the doctors that I'm seeing there
Okay,
because
good.
2 years here I've been getting ignored. They were like, "Oh, everything's fine," and the device had relocated, and they
Yeah,
were,
yeah.
and
Hmm.
that he had to witness me have seizures. But now I'm doing much better. He's happy. I'm in pretty good hands up there at Jefferson
Good,
Health.
good, good. And I don't know if you know feel like talking about this at all, but I do know that you know some children have special needs, and so
Yes, sir.
that's a big area for a lot of families. And we got a chance to meet your son, and he's a great guy and does a lot of stuff, but he does have special needs, right? And
He does it.
so,
He does. He also made Student of the Year at his
mhm,
school. He
wonderful.
did
Hmm.
fantastic. He is a straight A student, very intelligent. He
Hmm.
had
Hmm.
pursuit to the medications that I was taking during my when I found out I was pregnant. And
Hmm.
they couldn't just stop the medicines, and I was allergic to those medicines, and that caused my son to have side effects. But he's
Hmm.
extremely intelligent, straight A
Good.
student, just received his worker's permit. So he'll be able to work next year, the school year,
Excellent.
and
Excellent.
get paid. Yes. So
That's
I'm so
good.
proud.
Yeah, what
And
grade is he in?
he'll be going to the 11th grade.
Fantastic. Good for him. Good for him.
Yes, and
Yeah,
we were able to
so
go to one of the
it,
local baseball games as a reward. They sent us, they gave us tickets from him being the student of the year when we were able to go to the
Okay.
baseball game.
Okay.
So
So you go
I'm
see
proud.
the Senators, Harrisburg Senators?
Yes, sir, we did.
Okay, good. Good for him. That's great. So you've had a lot on your plate then. You're dealing with epilepsy. You help making sure your son's okay and he's doing
Yes,
great. And then trying to get your book done. You know,
yes.
that's a lot.
It is a lot, but
Mhm.
by the grace of God, I'm still alive. I'm still here. He's with me and my son, and I want to pour my heart into everything. I'm so
All
happy.
right. All right. Yeah, I'm
But
happy for you. Absolutely.
thank you.
Absolutely. And I know it's not been an easy road, but
No, sir.
you know what? You're making it work. That's the main thing. Making
Thank
it
you.
work. Go ahead. Hey,
Yes,
listen,
sir.
don't forget that next Saturday, we will have a Juneteenth celebration sponsored
Okay.
by the Writers Wordshop and Life Esteem, and also Nicole Wilkerson, who's making it happen. She's an events planner and really just does a bang-up job for us. She'll be on the night around 8 o'clock, she says. She's coming on to talk about a number of things, but I just want to mention the fact that we are having a wonderful Juneteenth celebration next
Okay.
Saturday over at Ben Franklin School, located
Okay.
up there right at Sixth and Broad Street, Sixth and Burbank. And there's the flyer for it. And we have
Okay.
a gentleman who is a professional clown coming in, and he's coming all the way out from Pittsburgh. And we appreciate his willingness to come and work with us. We have, of course, Reverend Dr. Dred Scott, who's a dynamic singer. He will be singing for us. We have the Winneman African dance community. We also have another, oh boy, I forget the sister's name, but she's created a dance, African dance group for youth, and they performed for us before. They'll be there. And then we have an aerobics taking place around 11 o'clock in the morning,
Oh,
get us up and moving, and they're fantastic. They've been with us also before at a different event. So anyhow, the flyer will reflect all that, and I'm sure Nicole will talk about it when she comes on. She's
okay.
largely responsible for pulling together a lot of things. And what am I missing? Yeah, well, anyhow, we have a lot going on. It's gonna be fun, and we always have poets. So if you want to, come up and do some poetry, we love to have people rock the microphone, as they say. So
Okay.
we're looking for area poets, okay? And also
Okay.
on the 22nd, we're going to be over at Goodwin Memorial Church. I think we started at 1 o'clock over there, working with the youth and doing some stuff. And that's a Juneteenth celebration event. And they're going to have something going on pretty much the whole morning and afternoon. And we'll be there, like I said, around 1, I believe. I think we go on as the Writers Workshop. So we'd love to have
Okay.
you come out and talk about your book or read your poetry. So
Okay.
anyhow, that's what's going on. Okay.
All right.
Great,
Thank
great, great. Well, listen, I'm so glad we're on with Sister Sally John, and she is an excellent writer, by the way, as well as an advocate for epilepsy, and also she's just involved in community. So good to have her on, and we'll be talking more with her. Don't forget too that coming up sometime probably around 8 o'clock, we're gonna have Nicole Wilkerson to join us as well. And Nicole is a new author also. Her book has just hit the airways. She got her proofs back and all that good stuff. And you definitely want to hear her as well, because she's going to talk about how to prepare yourself to enter into an HBCU, historically Black college and university, which she's a graduate of, Howard University herself. And so she wrote a book about that, how to prepare yourself for an HBCU experience as far as college is concerned. So, definitely stay tuned for that. Sister Sally, I don't know how much time you have tonight, but stay on. I'm going to ask Brother Chris if he wouldn't mind gracing us with a video tonight. We usually do about 4 on this Friday night, and so let's see if we can get the first one in.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
At the age of 7, my family immigrates from Zimbabwe to Aotearoa. I pass through customs, but my culture is made to stay behind. In the classroom, I am afraid my tongue will beat back to its African rhythm, be concussed by fear, have amnesia, turn all its memories to dust. Yesterday I was African, today I am lost. Maybe I was blinded by the neon sign of opportunity. The best way I know how to share the perspective of those I represent as a Black immigrant woman is through my writing. So I make poetry and I decide to send it to the man who sat behind me on the train last week, who had the audacity to touch my hair without asking. I didn't say anything, which is crazy because I almost always have something to say. But in that moment, like my split ends, my mouth was almost too dry to speak. Luckily, my hair speaks volumes. Tangled and twisted, there are stories in these curls, stories of a mother, father, stamped with a number, marked as objects, sold as property. Stories of my ancestors who were shackled in cages, displayed in zoos, the same way you stroke me like an exhibit in a petting zoo. It's twisted and it's tangled, but there are stories in these curls, a beautiful position of my history's oppression. And you look at me like I am Medusa's child, cursed. I'm making everyone blind to my self-worth, and for years I tried to strip myself of this curse with the potion of chemicals, despite the burn of sodium hydroxide on my scalp, the smell of burning flesh which filled the room. I was hypnotized at the prospect of having straight hair cascade this broken body of insecurity, hoping to put myself back together with glued-in weave tracks, causing receding hairlines as I mentally recede back in time to a time of my ancestors' inferiority, to a time of no authority, forever believing that I was the target minority. And you can't tell me to tame this mane because in fact you are the lion. And in this jungle where racism runs wild, I am your prey, you are my predator, devouring my history, leaving me so raw that my own flesh builds a grave for me to lie in. I'm buried deep in my roots. So dear racism, I am choosing to rewrite the history you gave me because I know the future belongs to those who prepare for it. And you have been preparing me for centuries.
That was beautiful.
I started talking and I forgot I was muted. That was beautiful, wasn't it? That was
Yes,
very
it was. That was beautiful.
Mhm. And I love that whole imagery of the guy just reaching and touching her hair. And she's like, what? I mean, come on. If people do stuff like that, as if that's not an invasion of one's, space,
Yes. I've had that done to me. They assume that my hair, which is my natural hair, I had people snatch it. I'm like, this is my hair. Please don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what you want me to take it out a ponytail for you? You want to use a comb? This is all mine. I had people do that.
Wow.
Well, Black people don't have hair. Yes, we do have hair. Our hair does grow. African women hair are some of the longest hair. We have the thick, natural hair if we take care of it properly. I've had that. Look at me. Oh, I apologize. Well, I want to hit their hand, but I just let them know, don't please show me respect than that,
Yeah.
We
And I
have
like
to.
the way she talked about how it made her feel, like a animal in the petting zoo and that kind of thing. And really, she broke that down. She looked very young too.
Yes, I give her A+. Put a smile on my
Right.
face. I really liked it. So thank you for sharing that.
Oh, yeah, that's very good. Yeah. Brother Chris does a great job of that. Yeah, so, what else is on the horizon for you in terms of, we're talking about doing some readings in person. And I drug my feet. I was supposed to contact the brother. It's with now Uzi Gallery. And I'm probably not saying it right, not Uzi Gallery. I don't know if you can see that. Probably backwards. But anyhow, it is NYEUSI. And they are located. It's a beautiful gallery, first off. Man, I knew that they were there. I just hadn't been in. Went down maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago on a Saturday with my wife and daughter. And, Steve Barber is the artistic director there. But you walk in and the paintings are on the wall from the bottom all the way up to the top. It's in high ceilings. And it's like 2 major rooms, where this stuff is, maybe 3. But it's just absolutely breathtaking. All African and American or African artists, and so on full display. And so, he's opened up the doors for us. I got to call him and see whether or not I can get him this evening. But he's opened up the doors for us to come down and do some live poetry. And at the same time, we can be on, Facebook, Zoom at the same time. And because we don't want to lose our artists from New York and from Virginia and places like that. But anyhow, it sounds really, really promising, and I hope we can get this thing settled and get it on schedule and make it happen on a Friday night. If not, maybe a Saturday night. Who knows? It's anyhow, we'll see. But hope you'll join us. Okay.
Love to. you all that looks forward. I'm going to have a meeting tomorrow with someone else that I met at the community. Since I was working with Mr. Makaja, I've been meeting a few more people. I met Mr. at your Kwanzaa celebration, but that must be you.
Well, he's part of a thing called the Black Network. I think it's just Harrisburg or Central Pennsylvania Black Network, one or two. But anyhow, a number of good people are involved in that. And they put on some great programs. They just had a big program about 2 Saturdays ago, maybe 2 weeks ago tomorrow. And
Yes.
it was at the Capitol grounds called the, what is that called? Oh boy, something Grove, Soldiers Grove, I think it's called.
Soldier Grove Park. I helped put
Yeah.
it together. I would help him. I can't be out in the heat for very long, but I was making a lot of phone calls and contacting
Oh,
people.
right on, okay.
A lot of heat causes seizures, so I try to avoid the heat. But my son and I went for a few minutes. We couldn't stay too long. Then we went
Yeah.
on to the Capitol, let him take some photos. We come on home. But yeah, we did go for a
Good
bit.
stuff, good stuff. Okay, fantastic, yeah. And
I'm
because
trying-
he's been on the battlefield for a long time, so
Yes,
been
sir.
doing it well. It's great. And so many other people like Aisha Mobley, and we had our brother Baya was on, and he did a great job. He's a poet as well, and he's working with Acacia as well. You probably met him, you know. I do want to mention something that's really sad, and so it's kind of in the papers, so it's all over Facebook. People know about it. We have a good brother. He's a poet by the name of Talib, Basil Talib, Basil the first name, and then Talib. And so he literally for years now, he took his little sons and he has raised those boys. He had them in everything. He had, when they were just little guys, 2 years old, they used to walk, come to all the events, whatever. And I'd be like, man, he got them there, And so he's raised those boys, had them in football, had them in special camps, came to everything from Kwanzaa to whatever. But unfortunately, just a few days ago, I think it's the oldest son, who's 13 years old, had a gun and shot and killed an 18-year-old boy who was set to graduate from high school, 2 days ago. And so he was 3 days away from graduating from high school. And this, unfortunate thing happened. So everybody knows it, everybody's seeing it, this and that. So the question becomes, well, how do we respond? Well, they're trying to try the young boy as an adult, of course. And he currently, from what I understand, is in Dauphin County Prison. And I do know that he's trying to find a good lawyer, somebody who can really represent his son. And so I hope that the community, all of those of us who know Brother Basil, will think of something we can do, figure out a way to support the family. It's a tragedy. It appears to be kind of a open and shut case based on, did he do it, not do it? It looks like he actually did it. And so, where do we go from here? Well, we could either talk about it or point fingers, or we can actually rally around the brother who did nothing more to this community but add quality to it. Now, Basil's been on the battlefield. He does it his own way. He's his own unique person, but he's a great poet. He's did a lot of work with the Brethren in Christ Church out on Hummel Street. Witnessed that. He's been involved in and just a little bit of everything, quite frankly. And certainly a lot of our programs he's brought his sons to. He's been a vendor, and he's gone back and forth to New York, where I think he may be originally from, and all that. So, listen, we do what we do. That is, we stand up and support. And I just hope that, somehow we can bring all our organizations together and figure out what to do. His son is just one of many, unfortunately, that, find themselves in that, very, dangerous and sad situation where all of a sudden their life is like, he's going to be in the system for a while. So, so I don't know what the answer is, but I know we got to do something. And so
Maybe.
just put your head around that. Yeah.
Can we pray about it? And I had a gun pulled out on me in April the 3rd. I had to go to court recently from someone pulling a gun out on me in front of my son. I had to tell my son to run.
What?
And yes. So, but yeah, and that person is not locked up, but you don't pull a gun out on someone, a loaded gun.
Wow. Come on.
His mom saying he has PTSD. It doesn't matter what he has. You could have killed me. You could have killed my son. God, my son was able to run. Because you're
I'm
upset.
glad he did not shoot. I'm glad he did not pull that trigger. And that
Yes,
you're here to tell that story, and that's sad. And it's
it
just
is.
happening too often. It's happening too often,
It
you know.
is. It
Yeah.
is.
And how old of a person was this man?
This is supposed to be a family member.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just because you're having a bad day. We were visiting Granny, spending time with her, and I don't know. He had a wild hair, went off, and come on outside acting very rude. He took my phone, threw my phone, because I can't drive. I take the Uber. Well, get away
Mm,
from him now. His mom had to bring,
mm,
I had to come home. She didn't want to stop for the police or anything. She brought us right home. But a neighbor, I had to call the police from a neighbor's.
wow.
It's
Mm.
terrible. I now have my son in counseling for that. My baby was scared.
Now I can only imagine. Yeah, anybody would just get a gun pulled on. Come on now.
And I
That's
told him,
sad.
God is with us by the grace of God.
Mhm.
Everybody has bad days. No one's perfect, but you don't pull a gun out on someone. You don't.
No. Because all it takes is just one little pull of that trigger, and you can't take that bullet back.
No, you cannot.
No, no. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Well, God bless you. I'm so glad that you're here to tell the story, and I
Thank
hope
you.
that you never have to go through that again.
Me
Because
too. And
yeah,
I'm located from a bunch of nonsense already, but I never thought that would happen. But that's
yeah.
okay. God is with me, by the way. He's with my son and me. And I
Mm,
promise my son, will keep us away from nonsense. I just cut more people off the family tree. I can't
mm.
allow negativity. Stress
Right.
causes seizures, but stuff like that, you can't allow that. You don't.
Yeah. That's just
I don't hate. I don't hate anyone because no one's perfect. But that I could be dead. My son could be
yeah.
dead. And there
But the
was
fact
cancer.
that he pulls it, a lot of guns have what they call a hair trigger. And he pulls up like that and point that thing, and that thing could go off, just by itself. Um, really stupid thing to do. Really stupid thing to do. Wow. Hmm.
But
And you say he's suffering from PTSD, perhaps,
what is
possibly?
much stated? Well, I apologize. He did. He has PTSD. Well, if that's what he has, he shouldn't have access to a gun.
Did
Yeah.
not have access to it. Yeah.
He-
Hmm.
yeah.
My goodness. This is why it's important that we write and talk about, things because, we can influence, the people's perception. And when you hear stories like this, that's something that should be unpacked. You tell that story um, from both ends.
Yeah.
Why is he carrying the gun, and also what it felt like to have one pointed at you.
Yes.
Yeah, geez, my goodness. Yeah, there's so many different things. I remember some kids long ago. They, I don't know, called themselves being gangsters. And they're driving around in the car right here in the city of Harrisburg. And they went up, I think it was Seneca Street. They were up off of like 4th and Seneca. And they just started shooting, you know, and all this craziness. And I don't even know what it was all about. I don't think they do. But luckily, they shot up homes, but no one got, murdered that day. But can you imagine just why? What you shooting for? And then fast forward, just about a month ago, right up on 6th and Woodbine Street, a little store, that corner store there, across from the Camp Curtin Y, and someone drove past and shot and killed a young lady who was pregnant with a child, and both her and the baby died. I mean, they're just standing there for a crowd of people just talking, and they come by and do a drive-by. It's like, I don't get it, I don't get it. Yeah. So we all got to be careful out there. Be
Yes,
careful.
we do.
Mhm. Yeah.
Be careful and just pray. Like I prayed before I went to the court and prayed when I came home. And I didn't
Mm.
even want to, someone I had court, I didn't want to upset him. Like he said, can we just stay away from them? I say we can, he's afraid, but don't worry. Just had to
What
pray.
was it? What was the end result of the court hearing?
Now they switched it to the bigger court. This was held at the small court. They want to switch it to the larger court so they
Mm.
can. But yes, like I
Okay.
took, and the
Mm.
officer was there. The officer who took the report was there.
Okay.
But when we called, it took them 6 hours just to call the neighbor back in
Mm.
order to tell me that they need you to take an Uber to the downtown police station. I didn't
Mm.
know what it was, but she had to tell me I had to take an Uber. His mother had
Mm.
finally got my phone and my purse because my phone and purse was left there. And my
Mm.
grandma. But by the
Wow.
grace of God, my son and I are alive.
Amen. Amen. Yeah.
But, yeah.
And there are a lot of people who wish they could say that right now because they're not alive. They were executed, shot, but for whatever reason, robbed, Oh man, it's getting bad out there, and that's not hyperbole and all that kind of stuff. That's real. I mean, it's really getting bad out there. You know, when it's 13-year-old can get a gun, just tell me how that happens. I just don't see that, but it happens. We know it does. You know, and then the ones who go and shoot up the schools and all that kind of stuff. Sheesh, you know, tell somebody, tell them what you're going through. You know, seek help,
And
whatever. But just to go up into your room and plot the murder of classmates and all that kind of stuff, knowing full well you're gonna get shot too. That's the other thing I could never figure out. Those guys, they did all the shooting, but also they got shot and they would die, So you're gonna fire at the police gonna take you down. Yeah. They know the consequences and they still follow through with it. That's tough. That is tough. So on a brighter note, you have a book out.
yes,
And
sir.
that's a great thing. I'm happy for you, and I hope that once it is published and everything, that people really support it and support you by buying the book and also educating themselves on what epilepsy is and is not. That's so important. Mhm.
Yes. And then one more thing, I would like to know, are you going to go to the Poor Man's campaign? That's me. I'm going to have lunch with, we're going to talk about, see if we can't get a group of people in the community to get together to go to Washington, D.C. for that.
When is that? I haven't heard anything about it. Mhm.
It's going to be June 29th, and that's with Reverend Barber.
Oh
He's going
yeah,
to be Washington, D.C.
he's powerful. Yeah, I like Reverend Barber. He's good. He can
Yes.
preach. Yeah,
Yes.
he's very good. And he's dynamic, in terms of getting out there and stuff. So June the 29th. Oh, so that's a Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, look at that. I didn't know anything about that. That's amazing. I haven't really heard, And are they organizing? I guess they're organizing around the country.
They are. They are.
Okay.
Yeah. Coalition. He's getting everyone to come on and talk and march because he wants to increase the minimum wage. And he
Mhm.
wants to talk about everyone needs medical care, which they do. Everyone
Yeah.
needs insurance and other things like that. Yes.
Mhm.
And I said it's perfect timing that my book is coming out because I'm speaking about the importance of insurance. Everyone should have insurance.
That everyone should. Yeah. Yeah.
And if you don't have the
Mm.
proper medical care, I want to teach you how to advocate, how to switch. So yes.
Mhm. Yeah. Good stuff. Okay. Well, we have an election coming up. Have you thought about the election and, what we're calling people to do and not do?
I have thought about it. I just pray that we don't get Donald Trump in office,
Well, I'm with you on that 1,000%, 1,000,000%. It's unbelievable what he is about. I just don't get it. But there's some people out there. We actually talked about him a couple months ago, I guess it was. And we had some, people come on and just try to take where they took over the station and show pornography and all that kind of stuff. But they're representing Trump. It's like, so this is what you do, I mean, you come on ignorant, you're just saying stuff and laughing and acting crazy, hollering, and then showing all this pornography. I'm like, you're not representing this guy at all. No, maybe you are. You are representing him, aren't you? That's just crazy to think that that's the appropriate way to act, in response to the candidate that you choose. Stupid, you know, but it is what it is. I just hope he doesn't come close to winning. I mean, not even close.
I understand. I truly understand.
No, absolutely. Oh my goodness. Now he's in there talking about revenge is sometimes a good thing, He just made a speech where he was talking to one of the correspondents, Dr. Phil, I think it was. And he started talking about revenge. Revenge.
Jail is what it should be.
Yeah.
Anyone else would have been at the jail. Me too.
Oh yeah. He's gonna be sentenced, that's right, on what is it, sometime in July?
July.
June or July.
Yes.
Yes, in July. And I hope they throw it at him, Do the right thing, as they say. Do the
And then
right.
Queen Park Congress, some of the people that he put in there, they need to be removed. They
Yeah,
don't have.
goodness, yeah. Marjorie Taylor Greene. I shouldn't even say her name out loud. That
Yes.
woman has caused more, just says anything, comes off like a real clown. I mean, I don't get it.
Oh
And so
yes.
racist and hard and everything else. So, hey, do your thing, lady, whoever you are. I mean, just don't understand it. But, now she's going to she tried and failed to throw out the current Speaker of the House, who's one of her, Trump's boys and everything, but he did something she didn't like, and she actually had a vote taken, trying to, upseat the guy. I'm like, this woman has no boundaries. She has no fear. She's just crazy and just gonna be crazy. That's all there's to it.
Well,
You know?
he installed her in there, so hey,
Yeah, yeah.
could have fixed
And then the
issues.
judge, I think, isn't there a judge in Florida who's blocking everything and trying their
Yeah,
best to, so that way they can't, go. They don't want him to go on trial in that particular case before the election.
yeah,
So she's stalling and stalling and doing all kinds of stuff. Unbelievable,
yeah.
unbelievable.
Millions of people starving and homeless. There's things that they
Hmm.
could do, but
Hmm.
they're protecting him.
Yeah,
He,
yeah.
you know,
Big time, yeah. You go to these so-called rallies and it's supposed to be so Christian and all this kind of stuff. And you don't see any flags saying Christ, you see flags saying Trump. I mean,
yeah,
they just going after this dude, running after him, begging him to see me, see me, I'm a loyal fan. It's like, brother, really, this guy doesn't love you. Are you kidding me?
oh, he
But
does.
he does. Yeah. Mhm.
And a lot of the
Unbelievable.
doctors are like that. It's sad,
It
but yeah,
is.
one of the doctors I had to report to the medical board. Like he
Oh
told me,
boy.
we
Mhm.
should just give you brain surgery. No, you should not just give me brain surgery. He say, well, nothing's going to help you. I say, well, that's interesting.
Mhm.
Program the
Mhm.
device. He was shocked that I knew what he was supposed to do. Like I told him, by law, you're supposed to program it on a certain setting. You're supposed to contact the company.
Mhm.
I
Correct,
don't
man.
do that. I say, well, I can leave your office right now, then I can contact the medical board.
Hmm.
You're not
Mhm.
going to talk to me any kind of way, and you're going to treat me with dignity and respect. And my
Mhm.
health is very important, and that's what I did. And he no longer practiced medicine.
Wow. Okay.
You don't talk to me any kind of way, and you're not going to assume that I should just have brain surgery.
Mhm.
One thing they're
Hmm.
doing a lot in the area, giving people brain surgery. A lot of people are starting to go up to Philadelphia to get fixed because Hershey is just using them as guinea pigs. And like I
Wow.
told them, I do too much. I do a lot of reading and researching,
Mhm.
and you're not going to just do whatever you want to do to me because you say you are a doctor.
Yeah, no, don't let them do it, Yeah, you have to be a good consumer. You have to know what's, in your best interest and what's not. And also, you just can't take a person's word, just take their word
Nope.
for it.
Have to
No,
get a
what are you talking about? You have me set up here dead. And so many people have died because they just simply took the doctor's word for it. I happen to have
yes.
a wonderful doctor. She's from Nigeria. Her name is Dr. Claudette Jado, and she
Okay.
got her doctorate degree in Africa in Nigeria, and then she came here and they made her take other courses. So she went to Howard University. She's very serious about being in partnership with you when it comes to your health. So she wants you to talk and tell her, what's going on, where's the pain, So she's really clear about that because she believes what the social workers believe, and that is that the family is the expert on their family. They know top and bottom whether or not they're drinking, drugging, but they know what the issues are. And they will stand on top of those issues if really pressed. But if they're just out there drinking, drugging, acting crazy, then they may not stand a chance because the system's unrelenting. You know, the system will take you down big time. Yeah, so we'll
So
see.
we have to teach each other about the medicines. A lot of the medicines they prescribe, those side effects cause a lot of that stuff. Those medicines are
Mm,
those
that's right.
narcotics to our body,
Mm.
and they don't
Now,
like to learn about the herbs and things like that. But the herbs are what help, and
okay.
that's they use in our like in Africa. Our
Hmm.
people use a lot of herbs. India, they still use a lot of herbs, and some of the herbs that I take, they're taken a lot in India and Africa. So I had to research all that stuff, and that's what's helping my body heal.
Wow. You did say, oh, that's your hair, right?
Yes, sir. This is all my natural mess right here.
Oh, it is. Fantastic.
I want to
Oh,
cut it
yeah.
as a fit.
That's
Don't
good.
don't cut it. I say, please let me
Yeah.
cut it.
There's
Oh
so
yeah.
many people who are walking around with these extensions in the hair and all that
Yes.
kind of stuff just to make themselves look more, European, I guess is the proper term. But that's what they do. And it's like, no, why would you do that, bro? Because they think that
Love
looks good. Yeah. Because I look
and
at the actress Viola Davis. Are you familiar with her?
yes, I am. I love her book as well. She's amazing. Yes.
Yeah. She's fantastic. But she said, no, I'm not doing that. I give her credit. She, wears her hair natural.
Yes.
It's short, and she's a sweetheart. You know, but all
I'm
this
getting
other
the
stuff.
braid up front, so I braided the front up. But my son said, "Mom, don't cut your hair." I said, "Please let me." This is some when you have to wash it. Have
Yeah.
a,
Mhm.
but I take my time. I'm now able to use the left side of my body. For one
Oh,
while, I was
good, good.
so I had to just have it in a few plaits and stuff. But I'm able.
All
I was
right.
flat on it.
Yeah.
I'm back
But it's
to my.
Mhm. We're going to talk about this writing process again. I'm going to do this though. Let me make sure. I always like to keep track of time. And
Okay.
based on what I see, it is now 7:46, so that's a good time. We already saw one dynamic presentation by way of video, and so
All
I'm going to
right.
ask Brother Chris if he doesn't mind bringing up another video for us. Second one. Okay. Let's see what we got in store here.
Why is it so hard to take a break and recuperate? Sounds efficient, but we'd rather procrastinate the experience of staying still for a moment. Rest and let tomorrow worry about itself. A phrase that says a lot but never truly means much to some. In a world where busyness and maximum productivity are looked upon as the standard of living, the concept of rest has lost its meaning. They say sleep is for the weak, but is it really? Just as the entirety of all humanity runs deeper than flesh and blood, so also rest for the body alone isn't enough. It's okay to rest. This is the rest I speak of. A rest that calms my spirit even when my body isn't willing. This rest, only God provides us. When God created everything, including time and season, He rested on the seventh day. And although He never sleeps, He showed me that there is an end to every season, and I'm reminded of that every day. Chosen people need rest too. Even royal priesthood, there should be no excuse. We give too much excuses and reasons why we must work while others sleep at night and relax their minds. Yet it's shocking and confusing when overwhelm begins to eat us alive. We pray to God and ask what the problem is and why we overthink, forgetting that He has made sleep available to the ones He loves, that the weary and the heavy-hearted can find strength in His love. But we refuse to love ourselves enough to enjoy this love. We blame God for the consequences of our vanity and then turn around begging Him to set us free. It's so. You see, rest is a gift, a place of peace and refreshment, power over weariness, a decision to let go of our cares and our fears for however long it takes to breathe again. Even if life were a game, as some would say, there should be an option to pause in the middle of a play. Jesus, who is like You? When I'm awake and active, I still have the luxury of resting in You, resting in the peace of Your presence, especially when I have no clue what to do. They say a soldier need not rest until the battle is won. But You said You already have victory over my wars, so I guess my work here is done. Please give me wisdom to rest in this revelation, to understand that there's a time for everything under heaven. So I will lay down in peace, and I will sleep in peace, because You alone make me dwell in safety. And this is the rest I long for. This is the rest I seek. a rest my heart has tasted and drank from. This rest only God can give. It's okay to rest. It really is okay to rest.
That was good though.
That
She
was
makes it
beautiful.
good. Yeah, it was very beautiful. Yeah. I
Rest
like the
is
pace of it, the music. Yeah. And she's absolutely right. We need rest. I know I do. Man, oh man, I stay up way too late and do other things, and then you want to try to be creative. It doesn't work that way.
no.
It saps all my energy. Yeah. Mhm. Do you get plenty of rest?
I have to. That's one important thing. That's why I usually am not on Fridays. I usually go to bed early on Fridays. My body is
Mm,
usually tired. And now the heat's getting more. I
mm,
usually am tired. But I was take a nap today. I had to run out to go get medicine today.
mm.
And I came on in, got out of the heat. So I said, I want to come on today. I have to look forward for my meeting. But yes, just tell my son he likes to do a whole lot. I cannot. Sometimes I don't have the energy that I used to have. And we have to be careful with the summer. We can't be out
Yeah.
as much as we used to. So I took him swimming. I don't swim, but he swims. He's a fantastic swimmer.
Okay. Oh,
I keep
good.
umbrella over me to kind of keep some of the sun off. But
Mhm.
and then if I'm out doing too much, I have to just make sure I try and get enough rest.
Good. Yeah,
Don't get enough rest, that can also cause more stress on the body.
it really does. Yeah. Yeah, that's something I've got to work on. There are a couple things, my eating habits, always
Okay.
snacking, and then also my rest. Not getting enough of it, and then you get up and you push yourself, and that's not a good thing, you know.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm with you 100% on that. I got to get rest too, and and it's not, you don't have to have autoimmune deficiency or
No.
epilepsy or diabetes or anything like that. It just be you can be an everyday average person. You don't have enough rest, you're not gonna be at your peak performance, in anything, So something we just got to face, something we have to face, yeah. But they say so many people, and this was based on just an American audience, will say they don't get enough sleep. They confess like me, you know, 3, 4 hours, I'm ready to get back up. And it's like, wait a minute, am I really ready to get back up? Answer is no, but do it anyhow. And
You
then you
drink.
kind of stumble through life. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You might want to try some tea, just something to try to relax the body sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I love tea, and I will admit that I have I have a real love for tea, but also I like coffee. There's certain coffees, certain things I'll eat that I like coffee with, and I only do decaffeinated. I never do for anything. Decaffeinated coffee, decaffeinated tea, whatever. And I try to do sugar-free materials as well. Anything that, sugar-free. I try to avail myself to that, because I've done the other thing where I did all the candy and cookies and everything else under the sun, you know. And you see where that got me.
It's okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
okay.
And so, yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear that you were involved in the Black Think Tank event, the Black Empowerment, forum that they had. I'm sorry that we didn't stay. We were actually on our way to DC, but it's good to at least know what's going on. So we came down, we drove around it once or twice, and we noticed that different crowds and different people beginning to move into the area and stuff. And I said, this is good. Put on something that will lift people up. And I understand that Brother Talib Basil was there at the time, and he spoke to the young men who are part of the art program. In other words, they've gotten in trouble with the law. They've gotten a sort of a reprieve, so to speak, and they can be in this halfway house. They go to school, and then they're picked up directly from school, and they're taken over to the program, which is called, I think it's Youth Empowerment Zone or something like that. But anyhow, so it's through ARC, Alternative Rehabilitation Communities, started by a Black man, Mike Elby. And Mike Elby actually started and has a partner. And then Dan, helped out, worked with him. Became a family affair, really. But for the last 25, I would say 25 years, they've been a major player in the Harrisburg area, doing a lot of work with young people who really could go off the deep end and shoot somebody, anybody, so they're doing a great work. Let's put it that way. Yes, indeed. Did you have anything you want to read tonight? Any poetry, anything like that you'd like to share?
Well, I don't have anything I want to read, but I will. I can speak about how I'm gonna have my book, the back of the book.
Okay.
I'm the author. What it is, I'm explaining to people. It's stating how the way I got in my situation is I woke up in an emergency room with two black eyes. My life changed. I had a
Wow.
bloody nose and that bled for 72 hours. And I didn't have a lot of support. I was released too early and I didn't look sick. But I didn't have a lot of family support or medical support. My medical condition worsened. It happened. I won't say everything, but the way my episode happened, my granny was driving and we were going to get her medicine, her high blood pressure medicine. No one would get her medication for her. I had been away for a church camp for 2 weeks, so she had been without her medicine. Say, my leg hurt. Can you go to the store with me, baby, and get it? And just walk in there. I never made it to the store. Woke up in the emergency.
Wow.
And first sign of head trauma is anytime you have a nosebleed for 3 days, that's head trauma. And with the doctors not knowing what they were doing, sending me home and just prescribing medicine. Family members not saying, well, this isn't right. This isn't right.
Wow.
So I was a little older to relocate to another state for them to say, you're allergic to that medicine. You should have never been given those medicines. And I was telling them, this is making me sick. I'm dizzy. Why are you guys giving me this? Oh, you have to take it. Oh, you have to take it. No, you don't have to take that stuff. A lot of doctors get money from the pharmaceutical companies when they give you medicines.
Yes, they do.
And that's one thing I do speak about in my book.
When you first said I had two black eyes, a bloody nose, this and that, I'm thinking domestic violence.
No, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up, she blanked out and she hit a light pole as you're driving. I'm the passenger side, and with the airbag came out in the car. And from the airbag, that's what happened.
Yeah.
That's one thing I don't tolerate is domestic violence. Don't put your hands on me. No, no, no. Don't put your hands on my family. No. I don't tolerate that. I don't even like to be in arguments. That's why I gave someone their ring back. Don't be happy with you. I don't need to be with you because I want my life to be peaceful. That's what great granny made sure that she installed in me. So, several people in my family stayed married, but they're miserable. And like she said, you don't want to be miserable, baby. And she made perfect example, And I'm not going to be with you drinking and fighting and doing things. If that's what you want to do, you do it. I can raise my son by myself. You take care. And by the grace of God, we're in a peaceful environment. That's how I want to keep it.
Wow.
So.
Yeah. You spoke for a whole bunch of people on that one. Yeah. Just tired of the drama. And then some people who are in it for 40 and 50 years.
Yes.
And you're like, how did you last this long? You guys, really go crazy here. I had a friend who witnessed my wife and I, we were going back and forth on a church bulletin, some issue about the church bulletin. And she said, no, that's not true. Is that Nicole making it happen, Wilkinson? You are muted right now. You was here. You're still muted.
What about now?
Yeah, you got you.
Hello.
Hey, hello. How are you?
I'm finding you. Thank you so much for sending me the information so that I can join. I totally appreciate it.
Oh, no problem.
All right. Yeah, this is, of course, you know each other, Sally John and Nicole Wilkinson. And we were just talking that Sally has her book just about completed and ready to come out.
Yeah, she was telling me about it the last couple of days.
All right.
Congratulations.
Thank you much. I can't stop smiling. God is amazing.
All right.
It's a good feeling. It definitely is.
And congratulations.
Nicole, I understand you have a book that is out. Can you tell us about it?
I do. Oh my goodness. I wasn't prepared to talk about my book. I thought I was going to talk about the event, but that's no problem. I'm always prepared to plug away. It is called HBCU Bound, and it is a guided journal for students trying to decide which HBCU is right for them.
Okay.
So it just was published on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking to get it in as many students' hands as possible, because I want to make sure that they know what information to look for to decide what school's right for them. Because a lot of the times, especially our Black and brown children, they don't have the guidance, or they don't have the people to go to that can answer those questions. And sometimes they just go to the school that offers them the most money,
That's right.
or go to the school because that's where a friend went. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure that they're picking the right school for them, for their personality, for their major or career interest, and for their financial background.
So what we have to do is get you out there to one of these churches or someplace, advertise it big before, because people get ready to go to school now, or they're beginning
Yes,
to think about it, and get those
yes.
11th graders who will be rising seniors, and some of them
Hmm.
who haven't made up their mind yet, whether they graduated or not. And let's see if we can get yourself some takers, okay?
I would love it. And then, we have a bunch of different organizations that are actually doing college tours to the different
Okay.
HBCUs. And this would be a great tool for those students to have in hand, because the journal has enough room in it for 10 schools. So they can pick 10 schools and collect all the information that they need. And all that information is in one place. So
Mm-hmm.
then when it's time for them to make a decision, they're not scrambling to find things or look things up, or, try to remember, this information about that school. Everything's in one location, and they can make a comparison and make the best decision for both them and their circle of influence. So, I'd like to also speak with those people that are in charge of those HBCU tours, to see if this is a guided journal that we can actually add to their packet.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. You sound like somebody that went to a HBCU. What's going on here?
I did. I'm a graduate of Howard University.
Good, good. That's
And,
all right.
I actually, that's one of the things that inspired me to write this journal, because first of all, I'm the first graduate of a HBCU from my family, both on my mother's side and my father's side.
Okay.
And my father went to an HBCU. He didn't graduate, but my father was tragically killed when I was 2. So
Hmm.
it's not like I could go to him
Hmm.
and, ask him any information. I
Hmm.
have an older brother who attended an HBCU, but he dropped out his second year. And he doesn't like to talk about it, so I couldn't go to
Hmm.
him.
All right.
Um, and then as far as my mother's side of the family, I had one college graduate prior to me. So I'm the second college graduate on my mom's side, but the first from an HBCU. Um, but I just really didn't feel comfortable going to my older cousin who went to a private white institution. I didn't feel comfortable asking him about an HBCU. So I didn't
Hmm.
really have too many people that I could go to. So being the person that I am, um, I took it upon myself to really delve in and do the research and get the answers, because I was the type, and I'm still that type of person, but I was the type of teenager that if I had a question, I was going to delve into that question until I got the answer. It didn't matter who I had to go to.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure that there's other students that don't feel that way,
Hmm.
and make sure that they're getting the information in an efficient time to make the proper decision.
All right. All right. Good stuff. Well, I know that Sister John's son is a rising junior. Is that right?
Yes, he is. My baby's a
Okay.
student, made the student of the year. I'm so happy. And he
All
like,
right,
Mhm.
congratulations.
Good
yep,
stuff. So we
college.
got to make sure that he begins to think about, college and all that good stuff. He has a good 2 years under his belt. But we got to get him a copy of that book. Get him a
Yes.
copy of that book.
Yes, and right now the book is available on Amazon. Um, or you can go to NicoleIsMakingItHappen.com and make a purchase.
Okay.
But we will have it available on all different bookstores in about a week and a half. It'll be available at Barnes and Nobles, Target, Walmart, and just about anywhere you buy books.
That's excellent. That's excellent. So you see, Brother Chris is brought it up. That's a wonderful cover too, by the way. I love that. Very
Thank you. It's a story behind that cover too.
okay.
Um, I didn't want to use other people's photographs simply because I didn't want to go through the copyright issues and things.
Uh-huh.
So I grabbed Sarita Henderson, who does our flyers. You know, she
Mm-hmm.
does a lot of our graphics and things. And I
Mm-hmm.
grabbed my mom. I said, "Hey guys, we're going on a road trip." And they're like, "Where are we going?" And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
"We're going to visit some HBCUs and take some pictures."
Wow.
So I spent about 2 days in the car driving, taking different pictures of HBCUs up here in different states. And
Yeah,
then I narrowed it down to 4 of the HBCUs to put on the cover. And of course, you know, I had to put Howard. So
absolutely. Absolutely. Speaking of which, let me say hello to Nanette Swanson. Hello, Nanette. How you doing? You're muted right now.
Hey, how are you
There you
doing,
go.
Nate?
All right. Good,
Everybody.
good.
hello,
Mhm.
Miss Nanette.
Hi.
Sally John and also Nicole Wilkerson.
Yeah,
Hello.
okay.
Both of them are talking about how they've Sally's just about completed her book. We're going to talk about that again in a minute. And of course, Nicole has her book out and ready and moving already and, you know, educating folks. So
That's
this is
good.
good stuff. This is real good
Yes,
stuff.
my sales
Yeah.
are in the double digits already, and it hasn't even been out a week yet.
Wow.
So I
The
really
double
appreciate
digits.
everyone's support.
That's good. How much? Well, tell us the price of the book.
The book is $14.99. And
Okay.
again, you can get it on Amazon right now. And if you wait, you know, in about a week or so, you can get it just about anywhere that you can purchase books. I do have a Meet the Author event coming up on July 13th. And I'll have the books available there to purchase, as well as I will have the books available to purchase at our Juneteenth event on June 15th.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So June 15th, wait a minute, that's the next Saturday.
Next Saturday, yes.
You had the
I just
books
finished
available?
distributing some flyers.
All right. That's fantastic. Well, speaking of which, tell us about that event next Saturday.
Oh man, I'm tired already and it's not even here, but I'm so excited. I get excited every year for June 15th, for Juneteenth. So this
Mm-hmm.
year we're going to celebrate Juneteenth on Saturday, June 15th. And it's going to be at the Ben Franklin School up on 6th Street. The address is 2505 North 6th Street. And just like all of our other events, it is free to the public. And
Wonderful.
oh my goodness, do we have a lineup for you guys?
Mm-hmm.
First, not only is all the entertainment free to you guys, but we're going to have free drinks, free snacks, cookies, muffins, all kind of pastries all throughout the day. We're actually going to have an ice cream social, which I'm kind of excited about.
And
I
you
don't know
both.
who'll be at the ice cream table first, me or you, Mr. Nate.
I'm
But
faster
we'll
than
have
you.
that. And you know, this is for the entire family. It's not just for kids or for the
Right.
adults. It's for everyone, whether you're 1 years old or 85 years old. Come on out. We have a group of children. They are simply amazing.
Mm-hmm.
They're called the Moana Dancers.
Hmm.
And we had them dance at our Black History event.
That's right.
And
Mm-hmm.
ever since we had them dance there, I've been getting phone call after phone call after phone call about when are we going to have them perform again, or when can they perform at my event, they say to me.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a special treat we have for you guys. And then we also have the Winneman African dance community joining us again. They've performed for us in the past, so we'll have them back again. We haven't had them since Kwanzaa, I believe.
I
So they'll
think
be
you're right.
bringing some new performances for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
We have Reverend Dr. Dred Scott performing some musical selections. So I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And we have some poetry selections. We have Zippo the Clown joining us. And he'll be there throughout the day, you know,
From
interacting with both the
Pittsburgh.
kids and the adults.
Mm-hmm. I
And
think you know who you forgot? Nanette Swanson's gonna be there singing for
I
us.
didn't even get to the
I
poets
know
yet.
she's
You know
gonna.
I was going to announce
I
Miss
know
Nanette.
she's gonna be
She's
there.
always there. And
We're gonna have to put
I
her on the
always pull,
payroll.
yes, I always pull her up. So I'm hoping she's going to grace us and bless us with her beautiful voice, whether it's with poetry or song. It's going to be her choice. So Miss
Mhm.
Nanette, I'm giving you a heads up now.
Okay, okay.
We want
Listen,
you.
you
All
better
We have
right.
a
listen.
microphone reserved for you.
That's right. And you know you got Sally John gonna do some poetry now, and I just know she's gonna do something for us.
Okay.
Yes, I
And
will.
All right.
thank you. Thank you. So we have a number of local poets that are going to be featured.
Mhm.
And then we have the famous Miss Marla's Soul Food that's going to be there. And everyone's been
Denise.
asking about Miss Marla's Soul Food.
Oh,
So she
Uh,
sold out at Kwanzaa. I believe it was our MLK event she sold out at.
Excuse me
So
once, real quick though. Was that Denise Liquors though?
yes, Miss Denise. The name of her business is called Miss Marla's.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we got that right. I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't
So
know that.
I'm just
Okay.
letting everyone know,
Mhm.
if you want a soul food dinner, don't wait. Get there. The event's
It's
from
real
10 to
good.
5, and she's gonna
Mhm.
have ribs, she's gonna have
oh boy.
fish,
Wow.
baked macaroni. I hope I'm not making anyone hungry.
Mhm.
And she's making some homemade peach cobbler.
Oh wow.
Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah. And we got to take hats
So
off to Ben Franklin and the Harrisburg School District for accommodating
yes,
us again. Just fantastic.
yes,
Who's the principal
definitely.
again? The principal at Ben
Um,
Franklin?
Mr. Oh goodness, he's only been there for 6 weeks.
Starts with
Um,
R, right? R?
Dr.
No.
Lighty,
Oh, Lady, is that his name? Okay.
I believe it's Dr. Lighty, yes.
Okay. Okay.
And then Mr. Shilly, who is the in charge of safety. So he's give hats off to him, because he's putting it all together to make sure we have somewhere to store all this ice cream for the ice cream
Ooh,
social and all the
okay.
drinks, and making sure we have the stage clear and the microphones working and the tables and chairs set up. We're gonna have a huge bouncy house. We're waiting on the face painter to get back to us, but hopefully we'll have the face painter. But
Okay.
the clown will definitely be there. We're gonna have a hula hoop contest,
Oh
a
wow.
jump rope contest. So we have a lot of activities planned. We also have Nicole with Extreme Hip Hop joining us again. And they were very well received at our
Yes.
last event we had them at. So they'll be coming back. So there's activities for everyone all day long. And
Mhm.
what's nice is that we're going to be in the gym. So
Mhm.
it's supposed to be a heat wave next week.
Oh,
Yes.
And yeah, so it's supposed to be like 95, 96 degrees that day.
That's
So
right.
come on down, come in the gym, get some ice cream, get some cool drinks, get some soul food, exercise, have some fun, and stay out the sun and enjoy yourself.
Brother
uh-huh.
Chris just put up basically the agenda for the day, which is a nice
Hmm.
flyer and everything. So, we'll send that to you by email or however you want to do it. And also, you had someone off, didn't you, Sister Nicole?
I did, yeah. So I've
Mhm.
been
Yeah.
distributing those throughout since yesterday.
Mhm.
So you guys might see them around town. If you see them, grab one, give one to a friend, pass the word on to a friend. If you see it on Facebook, share it on your page. Because I don't want to take any ice cream home.
I
You
do.
won't make it.
Anyhow, this is great though. I'll tell you, and hats off to you, Nicole. You always do a great job of helping pull things together. That's why Nicole is making it happen. She
Yeah.
makes it happen.
Thank you.
Really good
And
stuff.
also,
Yeah.
let's not forget, we have to give a shout out to our major sponsor, Aetna.
Oh, absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
Aetna put a lot of work into making sure that we had the funds so that this event is free to
Mhm.
everyone. so that we don't, no one has to pay for the ice cream or, interact with the clown or pay for their drinks and things. So we really appreciate that. And we do have a few vendor spaces left also. So if you have a business and you're interested in vending, please get in contact with me. We have about 8 spaces left.
Good, good. And I'm glad you cleared that up. When you announced that there was going to be a clown there, everybody assumed it was me. And I am not going to be the clown, all right? So just cut that out.
So, Nicole, are you doing raffles?
Yes, yes, of course. Yep, we have some door prizes we're going to give away. We have some Juneteenth cups and different things like that we're going to give away, as well as some door prizes from some of our vendors.
Okay, well, if you want some bicycles from Recycle Bike Shop, you can get a couple bikes. We got a whole bunch that they brought in. We bought some. So if you want to call
that
the
would
shop,
be wonderful.
if you want to call the shop and say, can you give me like 5 bikes, to raffle off, I can give you the number and I can bring them over. Because I'll be at the bike shop. Well, it opens on Saturday from 9 to 12.
Okay. Can I give you a call a little later once this is all over and
sure.
And I'm home done and I'm done handing out flyers for the day.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I see you in the
Thank
car.
you so much, Miss Nanette.
Huh?
Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Absolutely. That's fantastic.
I got 20 bikes I got together past week to send down to Hubert Memorial Church with David White and his church.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, the bikes are free. We give them out free. We fix them up. So
that's great stuff. That's excellent. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Good stuff.
Look how things are just coming together. That's beautiful.
And I do want to mention also Joe Bedard and the Central Pennsylvania Literacy Council. They donated a lot of books, I won't say a ton, but a lot of books that we can give out as well for young.
Okay, great. The kids love to get books.
Yeah, absolutely. And these are beautiful books. He really put some money into finding some books that speak of our culture. By the way, we sent over, I think it was about 35 or 40 books to South Africa, 3 schools over there. They need books desperately. And so anyhow, we sent some over and we're going to send some more over by way of the Betty Bowie Yates Foundation, which we serve on.
Okay, great.
Yeah, keeping things going, keeping it going.
Could you send me that flyer to my phone for Juneteenth?
I sure will.
Because I'll be going into the bike shop in the morning. So
okay. I sure will.
Dan Snowden is the Dr.
Did you want me to drop you some copies off, Miss Nanette? Did you want some physical copies?
Well,
also,
I don't want you to take you out your way, because
no, I'm running all around.
Oh, you're gonna bring them to the bike shop tomorrow?
I can bring them to the bike shop tomorrow, or I can bring them to your house, whichever's convenient for you.
1722. Oh, you're gonna call me later.
Yes, I'll get your address when we're done.
Well, the thing about going to the bike shop, you might be able to talk to the gentleman about getting some bikes, about donating the bike set.
Well, when you come, if you're going to drop them off, you can talk to them tomorrow too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a thought, or whatever way works best for you. Yeah. Let me say hello to the Zill Powder from the powder room. Hey, how you doing, Lizelle?
Hello, Lizelle.
Hey, good night.
We have, I hope to see everybody on. You have Sister John, Sally John on, Nicole Wilkerson, and also Nanette Swanson.
Yeah, good night, everyone.
Welcome. Where the brothers at? What's up?
This is women's night. It's ladies' night.
I'm checking that out.
He forgot when I was here.
Hey, hello.
That's right, brother Doc. He never comes on, so I always forget he's here. But Dr. Dan Snowden's there too. So the brothers in the house. How you doing, Dan?
Okay.
Thanks for yourself.
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. It's good hearing your voice. We're gonna get to some reading in just a minute. Sally John, let's talk about your book real quick. What's the name of it again?
Called Living with Epilepsy in My Own Words, written by Sally and Johns. That will be me, myself, and I. Yes, and I'm teaching.
Right. That'll be coming out pretty soon. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The cover today. Yes. So I am happy. I finished the cover today. And about author has been done, the acknowledgments. It's finishing touch. I'm ready.
All right.
Yay.
Fantastic. Good stuff. Good stuff. But listen, let's do this. A couple things. One, let's check out the time. I always get to go in there and forget what time it is.
Yeah, it's 25 after 8.
25. Oh, I have 20 after 8. Okay.
Oh, 20.
Anyhow,
Okay.
about 20 after. Okay. So that gives us another 40 minutes. Let's do this. Brother Chris, if you will give us another video, and then we'll come back, and Sister Nicole is still with us, and hopefully she'll have a few more words to say. We have Lazille, we have Dr. Snowden, you have Nanette, you know, hey, we rolling up in here. But check out this video, everybody.
Don't get offended when I say clear female. I just mean white woman who doesn't see color yet exerts her privilege, racism, ageism, etc., overly being absent-minded says Black people should forget about slavery. The past is the past, and I agree. On this 8-hour shift, everything I say opposing argument feels like two magnets repelling. Having to smile in their faces for 8 more, I was trying to lessen the field. Y'all could call it picking cotton. Then she gets into religion, abortion, and women's rights, clear-splaining these topics to me like I didn't attend government-funded pipeline to prison school, sitting in classes with pale women telling me the rationality behind darker-skinned people as slaves. All lives do matter, hypocrite. Clear female was happy she did an ancestry search, and I quote, found some Black in me. I told her it was Stockholm Syndrome. She said it was love. Like cops were coming, I ran from the conversation that we should forget the past when it's still our present. You aren't allowed to process what is still being registered. There's 2 properties Black people have every day. 1, our pigment. 2, the killing of our people. Transparency so blind, even written as brown bones of Black bodies in deep blue, they'll never touch the vision, though a great divide. Video evidence executions be that escapade evolution of gripping bag and elevator. This proves you are full of it.
I was waiting for some more.
Yeah.
I
She
know,
was
right?
rolling. She was rolling.
It was
Yeah.
very short.
Mhm. But very powerful though, when she, you know,
Yeah.
her. She,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's so real. Wow, good stuff. Yeah. Well, listen, let's get to some readings locally here. Sister, you know, Nicole, did you have some more words for us in terms of, you know, your book or the event coming up?
I just want to encourage everyone to come out to the event. Like I said, no matter what your age is, because something for everyone. It's for the entire family. It's absolutely free. And Miss Nanette just added a whole nother element to it by donating the bike. So that really ups the ante on our door prizes and things. So come on out. Not only enjoy yourself, enjoy the family, but support some local businesses as well as local poets, local authors, and local artists. And again, it's Saturday, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, June 15th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Ben Franklin School. And it's absolutely free. Your drinks will be free. Your snacks will be free. The only thing you'll have to pay for are your soul food dinners.
Great.
Yep. We have vendors too, right? Can you give us an
We
idea?
have vendors that are going to be selling everything under the sun. And you'll have plenty of time to interact with them. They'll be spread all throughout the gym. So again, it starts at 10 o'clock. So come prepared to support the vendors also. And we have about 8 more vendor spaces available.
Okay, good stuff. So anybody wants to be a vendor, they should call?
If you're interested in being a vendor, you can either contact me here on Facebook. You can contact me on any of the social media platforms under Nicole is Making It Happen, or you can call 717-38272.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Nicole, for all that you do. And we're looking forward to
Thank
this.
you
It's
for
gonna be
having me.
a fantastic day. All right. That's Nicole Wilkerson, everybody, and she has a book out. The name of the book again is
HBCU Bound, a guided journal to help students decide on which HBCU is right for them.
Is it too late for me to sign up for one of those HBCUs?
H.
It's never too late to go back to school.
Yes. Howard, here I come.
All right, you know.
Thank you. But we appreciate you and looking forward to the debuting of your book and getting it, and we're gonna, make some things happen together. But I'm glad to hear that you have the 13th of June. No, July. Right?
July, yes.
Yeah, 13th of
Yep,
July.
and so save the date. You'll get more information about that.
Okay, great. And then save the date also for our sister, my girl there who has a book out coming out on epilepsy, and it's going to be fantastic, Sister Johns. And so, let's set up some, what do you call it? Book signings and all that stuff. Let's make that happen, okay? All right. So let's get to some poetry readings tonight here. Let me see. Who's going to read tonight? Who's reading? Nazil, I know Nazil's reading, and I also know that Dr. Dan is reading. You have anything, Nicole? Nicole's gone. Nanette?
No, not to read.
Okay, all right. Well,
I just have a couple announcements, but I'll wait.
okay, real good. We'll get to the announcements for sure. Sister Johns, did you want to read anything or just?
I spoke about the book tonight. I don't want to read anything. I can prepare something.
That's good.
But
just hang in there with us. We got another half an hour, so just love to have you stay there with us, okay? So I'm gonna start off with Sister Nazil Powder and then ask Brother, Dr. Dan Snowden to share something with us as well. Nazil?
Yes. Let me just get this. Okay, this is this one is called No Matter How You Try to Cut Me Down, Yet Still I Rise.
Okay.
Weapons of warfare is what's in your mouth. The tongue and the words we say can have deadly impact. But it's so easy to be malicious and rude with the them say and the she say, listening to gossip, listening to anything that passed by your ears. But those lashing tongues mean nothing because I have a voice and a strong one too. I know that. I use it. My word said, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. And every tongue that rises up against me, rise up its ugly head. Yes, that head is ugly. It shall be condemned because it's coming from the mouth. So go ahead and bash and use that tongue. Take care, don't swallow your tongue. The more talk brings talk, the more I will rise. Because my Father protecting me. He said he will never leave me. He said he will never forsake me. Even when I'm in trouble, I can call on him. So I'm a chosen warrior. So no matter what, I got the victory. And my words will speak volume.
Beautiful.
Did you just write that today? You just wrote it today?
Yeah.
Were you going through anything or going through something or?
Well, not me, a friend of mine.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wrote that,
All right.
I wrote that just remembering what is taking place right now. So I just remember that and I said, let me write something on it.
Is that Ms. Rowe?
What's that?
Is that Ms. Rowe? Yes. No, okay, no.
Oh, this is Lisa. No.
Oh, Lisa. Okay, sorry.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good stuff, though. Good stuff. Yeah.
Nice poem. Everyone goes through things. No one's perfect. We never know what's gonna happen. So that was very nice. Amen, your friend. Appreciate it. You writing that.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Dr. Dan Snowden.
All right. Here's a piece called Gratitude Lacking. Many souls try to be of assistance in order to ensure all of the best for others who may be truly in need, but some recipients pose a true test. When there are those on our vast planet Earth who seek help and then get to receive it, the sound provision of some gratitude should be for the receiver to remit. Sometimes, sadly, the goodwill of mankind gets taken for granted on a grand scale, leaving lots of kind-hearted persons wondering if thanks is in the detail. Those who benefit from kind human acts are obliged to be more appreciative, since their collective life situations don't have to be others' prerogatives. So when choosing to assist some persons who appear to require sound backing, it should be no surprise to sometimes find people with rampant gratitude lacking.
All right. Lacking is the truth. Oh my goodness. And you wonder sometimes why that is, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I said at the top of the show, Sister John and I were talking about, you know, her book and everything, but it made me also remember that we've lost a number of young people recently in our community due to senseless violence. And one young man in particular who we're particularly sad for is a young man who got shot and killed in an apartment, only 18 years old. I don't even know his name, but I know that he you know, was going to graduate from high school from Susquehanna Township, I believe, in 3 days before his death. And really unfortunate part is that a young man, only 13 years old, was the one who pulled the trigger. What makes it even sadder is that having seen this young boy grow, I mean, literally from the time he was a baby to now, his father, who is, I think we all know, you know, Brother Basil Talib, who's an excellent poet, and someone who's worked tirelessly in this community. He's had those boys by his side every step of the way. You're talking about an intact father. He's had those boys walking all over Harrisburg to come to all the events that we had when they were just little kids. He did not miss out. He didn't let nothing stop him. You know, he didn't have a car, but he still came to the events. And I've put on events for years now, and Basil has been a vendor. He's been a poet. He's been there. And then he's also been involved with many other organizations. So it's particularly sad when you know that a young man who had the advantage of having a parent who truly, you know, did everything they could. He had them in football recently. They were, you know, doing this, doing that. They just did everything. And so what happened that he decided to go way down this path? He ran away, I think, a month ago. And so he was all over Facebook because he had run away and everybody, you know, was looking for him. He did resurface and he was fine. But then he turns around and where he got a gun from, no one knows. At least I don't know. And then he shoots a young man for what reason? Come on. Basil called me today. He's heartbroken. He, of course, is trying to get an attorney for his son. We talked, and I don't know, you know, how we can all help, but we're going to help as much as we possibly can. I gave him some direction in terms of some attorneys that might do pro bono work and stuff like that. Of course, there's always the public defenders. We know about them, and that's good too. But man, oh man, oh man, we have got to rally behind these young people to tell them this is not needed nor necessary, and that they're loved, and they have to know what love looks like. To me, I just want to give a shout out to Basil. He looked like love to me. He really loved those boys. And I mean, I don't think I ever saw him without his sons, which makes it even more kind of devastating. So he did a lot of great work. Basil did over at the Brethren and Christ Church over on Hummel Street. I witnessed that firsthand, and he was involved in all the schools. Went into the schools and spoke to the kids. He was really promoted by Floyd Stokes, who has his own books out. Floyd has about 40 books out and does all kinds of things, and he really pushed Basil and promoted him as a poet. And so I just know he's heartbroken. So, you know, from poet to poet, I just want to say, Brother Basil, you hang in there. You know, listen, I mean, we're there before the grace of God go my children, go my boys. They could have gone down that same path. And one of them was really close to it. And now he's a grown man now, and he's, you know, been able to overcome it. But all of us who are parents understand just how precarious these times are and things that must be addressed can't just be addressed, by itself. It said it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it's village time, y'all. We need to do something. We need to figure out something. Let's start with prayer. Let's start with the church because that's where we need to start. And then let's, get out there and do what we ought to do. Grabbing these kids up and, tell them that we love them. And also tell them that it's not needed nor necessary for them to be violent. All that tough stuff, save it for the field. Save it for the playing field. Go out and play ball somewhere, help out somebody, fix a bike, okay? Create something that's going to help somebody in the community and stop all this madness. And that's my little spiel for the night. I'll just let it go there. But I hope that the artistic community will stand up and we need to breathe some life into these young people. Let's make an avenue for them to write, read, build, whatever they have to do, play ball, whatever. Let's get them on the right track, okay? Okay, so having said that.
Well, I didn't know that was his son that happened. My heart goes out to him. I just saw him not too long ago, and he always had those boys with him, and he was trying to steer them in the right direction. He's always had them involved, so yeah, I don't know what happened, but my heart goes out to him.
Mine too. I had a cousin, Silas Broken. I always think of him because he was the only child. He was privileged in that sense. And he had an intact father and mother who did very well for themselves. And they loved him to death. I mean, they really loved that boy. And he was my big cousin and he took up for us and everything else. And when we were growing up on welfare, Junie was the kind, we called him Junie. He was the kind of guy that would go buy a pair of shoes and then say, oh, these shoes don't fit right. I'll give them to my cousin. And he knew that we needed those shoes. He would literally do that. And mom would always laugh because she knew what he was doing. I mean, that's the kind of heart he had. But then somewhere along the line, walking around with the wrong guys and gotten tough and everything else. Yeah, I was a brilliant student. He got his full scholarship to college and was a basketball player, played with Charles Dudley. But for some reason, he was into that, hey, man, don't you touch me, this and that. Ended up in prison, ended up dying in prison at the age of 28. It just didn't make any sense. And it's like, where did this go? Man, you had everything. You're smart, you're playing ball, He was sharp from head to toe. This guy dressed, he had the sense of fashion, always had a nice suit on, shoes, and then had a beautiful car. Yeah, I just envied the dude, it's like, that's Salas, man, that's Salas. But then you end up in prison fighting and this and that and drugging, and it doesn't make sense. But the streets will grab our people because they somehow don't see them. The violence comes at them and it's like, no, I'm gonna show you that I'm tough too. And they fall for that okie doke. And we gotta stop them. We gotta figure out a way to say, you know what, you don't have to do that, man. I don't know anything about Basil's son other than I always saw him with his son and they were in everything. But somewhere along the line, he got hard. And I don't know what that was about. And then he got a gun. I don't know what that was about. And then he took a life. Come on, y'all. It is really sad. It really is. And then, we go out here to the ARC program, and thank you, Dan Elby and Mike Elby. Mike Elby in particular created the ARC ARC program, the Alternative Rehabilitation Centers. And then, I go out there on Wednesdays, and there's 15 young men out there. They all got ankle bracelets on, this and that. And most of them, they admitted, they said, when we got busted, we had a gun on us. These guys are 15 and 16 years old, 13, 14, 15. It's like, what do you mean you had a gun on you? They did. They were just fortunate enough they didn't shoot anybody, So we have a lot of work to do, y'all. So, hats off to all the organizations out there doing something. Thank you, Micaiah Brown and the Black Network. Thank you to the Y, the Boys and Girls Club, to Kevin Dolphin and the Burnett's and all the folks. Thank you, Nanette, for what you do. I mean, you are on it. You're all over this community helping out and doing the things that you do. Thank you to, Brother Chris Thomas, who has the station. We're here because of his hard work. There's nobody else that has a station like this that's making it happen. So God bless you, my brother. Keep on keeping on. And just to everybody that's pouring good news and good work. Rose not on tonight, but I saw the newspaper just came out, the Black Wall Street. I didn't get a chance to read it yet, but that new edition is out. It's all over the city. Thank you to the, sister, the people, I'm drawing a blank here all of a sudden, but I'm talking about Bishop Dallas and Jenny Dallas. They create that newspaper. They're the ones that publish that. And Rose is the one who is the editor-in-chief. So just everybody's doing anything to make this community a better place and to give our youth some place to land upon and to do something. God bless you. Keep doing it. Don't give up. And, this too, if we do the right thing, shall pass. But man, how many shootings have there been in the last 2 months? Enough is enough. Down in York, they're off the chart. They just had a guy shot and killed in just today, and it doesn't stop. Lancaster off the chart. It's too much, y'all. So anyhow, Lazille, do a poem for us again. You have another poem you can bring up? And then right after Lazille does that, I'm going to ask Annette to make the announcements, and then we're going to ask Brother Dr. Snowden to give us another poem as well.
Well,
Okay,
I would like you all to have a blessed evening. My son, he's in here. I'm starting to get these hot
Oh, God
flashes.
bless. Okay, hey, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to hosting your book party, okay?
Most definitely, sir. Thank you so
All right.
much.
All
Thank
right.
you. All right.
Good night.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay. Babe, I'm getting off just 1 second, okay?
This one is
Okay, have a blessed evening, everybody. Night night.
All right. See you. Tell you somebody say hello.
Okay. You hear that, boo? Mr. Gadsden, say hello.
Thank you.
Okay. He said thank you.
All right.
Okay. No, babe, you getting off. Okay.
this one is called He Cried Out to Society for Help. He came through the subway doors like a star boy. He stood there. Noontime showdown on the Western Plains. Then he said, "Sorry to disturb the peace." As we listened to his declaration, "I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. I haven't eaten in a long time. Can someone spare me some change, please, so I can get something to eat?" "I don't mean to disturb anyone," he kept on repeating himself, as his clothes was filthy and hung loose on him, as if trying to be set free from his skin, as if embarrassed to be there. But he didn't care. He was in need. I didn't have anything to give him, not sure if he got the help. He wanted to be free. He felt chained and confused. His feet looked like he ran, walked, and they even looked like if they cried. Yes, feet do cry. They go through a lot of pressure, and his looked like it was under a lot of pressure. He must have felt guilty because he failed as a father. He failed as a man. He failed in his upbringing. Maybe he must have failed his kids, failed society. But yet still he cries for help. Can someone help him? Are we listening? But in all, he said he is sorry.
Yeah, that's real there. Thank you. Yeah.
It's really happening through the guy came. It so happened, he just walked in the subway. I was traveling in the subway and he just walked in, and then he started pouring out himself and talking, and he was in a bad state. So, I just said, it's tough.
Yeah.
Really tough what they go through.
Yes, it is. Real quick, I was at a big conference down in Washington once, and it was a conference that was all about how do we help people and this and that, I mean, it was a wonderful conference, but all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this guy comes in off the street who was homeless, and he wanted some food, and we had all these here. I mean, he had so much food in that room, we were eating everything, and the organizers, wanted to put him out because he was dirty and all that kind of stuff, but he was like, I'm so hungry, whatever. They were like, "But you can't just come in here." And we were like, whoa, whoa, whoa. The audience, all of us like, give him something to eat, And they were like, "Well, we don't want to encourage them." But the man's hungry, he's here, feeding. And by the way, aren't we sitting there talking about how do we help people? And you're going to turn this man away? And it was kind of it was so funny. And we weren't trying to put the organizers down. I understood, their position in the sense that, But on the other hand, you're talking about irony, you know, and so what I was pleased with was how the audience, you know, and then people just literally got up, went over, started taking their food, you know, and that kind of thing. And it's like, no, 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 you're not going to let this man, you know, go home.
Yeah,
Oh,
it takes
well,
wisdom. It takes wisdom, you
it
know?
does, yes, it
Yeah,
does. It's
somebody
like, how
gotta
can you possibly, you
just
know?
take him aside, say, I'm gonna get you a plate, or, you know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
give it to him and he can be on his way.
And I hate to say it was just women, but it seemed to me it was just when I remember the women just standing up and walking on, because we all just outside say, "Oh, no, 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 feed me." But then the women got up and went over and it's like, "Here, take this," you know. And the
Yeah.
folks were like, "Hey, you know." But anyhow, you had some announcements.
Well, I just wanted to announce my church is having a fish fry tomorrow, from 11 till sold out, $15 for the platters, greens and potato salad and macaroni cheese and water and all that soda. And it's down at 395 Second Street in Stilton, New Hope Living Baptist Church. And I just was with Andrea today and Dred Scott and who else you mentioned? Somebody else you mentioned. Anyway, I was with them at Joanne Overton's homegoing service.
Oh my goodness!
And I tell you, that was, I mean, she had so much love in St. Paul.
Oh my goodness!
It was so, so nice. All the things that, you know, we learn you learn that people did all these things after they're gone, you know, and how people felt about them. And she just loved her kids, the grandkids. But yeah, it was a beautiful homegoing. Dred Scott showed off singing.
Oh, he can sing. That brother can
Yeah.
sing. You know
Yeah,
that.
and
Now
Andrea
wait a
was
minute. So
there.
that was when? That was
That was
today?
his day. Yeah, I was there from like the Red Hatters. We all showed up in our red hats and our white outfits. And yeah, that was from 11. And I think we must have left there about 3:30 or 4 because they had put more tables up for people that were staying to eat and stuff. So it was
Yeah.
a pretty nice crowd.
That's
And
great. Yeah, I loved her. She was a great person. And her
that's what
daughter went on to get her
everybody
doctorate.
said.
Yeah, her daughter is you know, Celeste
Yeah.
Overton at Morris now. Uh, just a quality person, you know.
Yes.
Wow. I'm
Yeah,
sorry to see
she was
that.
waiting on a kidney, but you know, she
Yeah,
had
yeah,
dialysis all the time. So
yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
then I want to just announce that this past Sunday we had our Miss Senior America pageant at the ballroom in Hummelstown, and we have a new queen for the year now. Her name is Connie Harness, and she's from Dillsburg.
Okay.
And the second runner-up is Marjorie Daniels, and she's from Mount Joy. And we had a really good time.
Fantastic.
Yes,
Good.
and one more thing. I did I judged the pageant at Crown Plaza on Saturday. The kids
Wow.
were from 3 months to 28 years old categories. Yes,
Wow.
3 months old.
Oh my goodness.
Some of them were asleep, some were crying, some were, I mean, doing all kinds of things, but they had them dressed in their little frilly bling outfits, and you know, it was very nice.
Who put that on?
Sunburst, I can't think of her name because this is about the third time I've judged them, and it's
Oh
once
my
a year.
goodness. That's
And I
excellent.
tell you, their crowns and trophies are bigger than ours.
Oh my goodness.
The crowns over their heads.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's
all I
great stuff
wanted to
though.
say.
Yeah, that's great though.
That's
Well,
all I
thank you for reminding me about Sister Celeste Overton. We got to do a tribute to her.
Oh,
Sister,
great.
no, Celeste is the daughter. What's her name? Joanne.
Jody, Joanne, you know, they had all kinds of
Yeah,
names for
yeah, Joanne Overton. Oh man,
Overton.
what a last time I saw her, we had the 50th anniversary of the Children of Africa School, and she was central to that. And her daughter, Celeste, was one of the students who attended the Children of Africa School, so she was one of the organizers. So we
Yeah.
got to see Joanne there, and you know the whole bit. So the God bless you,
They
Dr. Dan Snowden.
had people doing videos giving
Yeah,
tributes to her. So
yeah,
yeah,
good.
that would be nice.
Okay, Dr. Dan Snowden, can you give us a reading?
Okay, it's not quite complete. I think it has more stanzas to go, but I'll share this with you now. It's a new one I'm working on called "Introduced to Another Poetry Venue." When I first took part in poetry events, the path traveled is one most familiar. Now another door for this is opened. so I first found the fair quite most peculiar. My poetic creations had been crafted, and Nathaniel Gadsden's Writer's Wordshop, here both in live time and added by Zoom, creativity rules the day nonstop. The Writer's Wordshop has treated me well, allowing for myriads of ventures, yet I learned of a similar venue that could serve as one for the centuries. Now, the Almost Uptown Poetry Cartel was the original name of this group. The Blacklisted Poets of Harrisburg is the current nomenclature for these troops. When first entering these waters, I was not really sure what to expect, whether or not my works would fit the mold, also if they would be worthy of respect. Most works herein were profanity-laced, written by many with bad attitudes, yet my works were widely accepted here, giving me a sense of sound fortitude. At first, I participated monthly, enjoying in this newer atmosphere, sharing many ideas along the way, all parties making their cases quite clear. And that's where it stops. I got one more stanza to go, and that should do it.
That's great stuff, man. That's good. You know, the creator and the guy that was behind they eventually became the Almost Uptown Poetry Cartel, now the Blacklisted, is Marty Esworthy. And just to let everybody know, Marty is, he's now, struggling health-wise. And so, hopefully God will grant him more days, but he's struggling mightily. So, keep the poetic, verses out there flowing and the good thoughts for a real pioneer. That when I first came back to Harrisburg from college, Marty and I kind of started at the same time. And we always laugh about that. Marty's a real hippie from the back in the day. I mean, even to the day, if you meet Marty, he got that swag, he got that hippie thing, but he's a great writer and an organizer. So he really brought a lot of people along as far as poetry is concerned. And so hats off to Brother Marty. And someone called me to make sure I knew that he was struggling because they knew of our history. And so I appreciate that. And I'm glad you mentioned both groups in your poem. Thank you. That's what.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah, I have two poems I'm going to read that are old pieces, but because of the nature of the young people and all the guns and everything else we're talking about, I want to read these in dedication to both groups, and I'm going to put it that way. Because I do work a lot with, I'm volunteering these days with the ARC program. And I got a chance to talk to these young men just on Wednesday. I go out every Wednesday and, you realize these are some brilliant young men who don't know that they're brilliant. And they have these ankle monitors, they have these charges. When the probation guys come in, they got guns all over the place. I mean, they come in strapped. And it's like, you guys are not even 18 years old and you up here in this situation like this. And then, you realize that they're in a situation where they gotta be there. I mean, they pick them up right from school. They let them go to school, pick them up, and then they keep them to 9 o'clock. They gotta go home. They better not leave that home. They got those bracelets on. And then they gotta go to school, and then they come, and it's a continuous thing that they do. But we had them out at our one event, and I said, I hope these guys, come. They came out, they did everything. They helped to clean up, they helped to fix up. They were working with the kids. I mean, it was incredible. And they really, truly enjoyed doing that kind of stuff. So, they have a lot of potential. This one is called I Know You. And again, these are some old pieces that I wrote long ago. I know you. Distant, hard, storm winds and lightning flashes, tender, not to be touched. A bomb born of young lust and needed attention. Statistical data that justifies the latest new Band-Aid program that covers you. Pouting lips and angry eyes, teeth-sucking sounds, and language that smells like garbage, flowing from you like water. A visual image of lack and need and not caring and not knowing and not wanted in most neighborhoods. I know you. You are the sleeping head on the desk in the middle of my lesson. You are the relationship guru of all those like you, a dictionary of discontent, a banquet of brokenness. You are the fulfilled hopes and dreams of the overt and covert racists of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. You are the sorrow of a people who refuse to unlove you, no matter how misguided and dangerous you insist on being. You are inmate 67724, but you are only 4 years into this journey called life. And still, they wait for you. The pipeline is clogged with you, and your elders are pulling you in vain not to go through, but you seem determined to do you because that's what you do. Oh, I know you. Man-child in this land of promise and possibility. Woman-child in this place of prosperity and pretense. A sad song in a symphony of battered instruments. A missed note and a perfect performance. A raging emotion masked in false pride and a pretend fantasy that never comes true. You long to belong, but you are dismissed and invisible to those who control the borders of your vision. And you can't see the problem. You are the hip-hop mess of a calamity. You are called by many names: urban, hood, thug, homie, dropout, user, pusher, dangerous, mother, father, son, daughter, inmate, parolee, SOB, problem 67724. I know you. I used to be you. I know you too. A fierce force wind of achievement and honor. A steel rod in the center of police dogs and fire hoses, unmoved. Academic excellence achieved in poorly rated schools. A measure of pride, patience, and persistence overflowing from the inside, unseen and unspoken, but on full display. You are the aftermath of a dream determined not to be deferred. You are the highest note in the operatic oratory that brings the crowd to its feet. You are the reaffirmation of our linkage with our ancestors who live again through you, with you, because of you. You are an answered prayer. You are the libation poured for the dead who walk among us, giving them hope, even though they sleep. You are the sound of Harriet Tubman, I can, send me, I will. You are the feet of Martin, ain't gonna let nobody turn you around. You are the strength of Malcolm, by any means necessary, you shall be free. I know you. Iron smelting, basket weaving, pyramid building traveler of the universe. From dungeons and barracoons you rose. From caravans of captivity you sprang. From hot fields and cold landscapes you emerged. Branded as a beast of burden and wrapped in the spirit of death, you flourished. You are the striving, driving essence of our ancestors' dreams. You are the definition of the forward flow of human history. You are the maintaining fiber of collective work and responsibility. You are the reflection of our economic reality when we build and profit together. You are the purpose of all that we do, in spite of all that we have gone through just to survive. You are the reminder of our creative beauty that we inherited from the rocks on which we stand. You give us faith in the righteousness and victory of all human struggle. I know you. You are the first hand up when the question is asked. You are the late night reader for the next day exam, leaving nothing to chance. You are the reason that we are here in this place at this time, as blessed as we are. Yes, I know you. I'm still trying to be you. Amen. And so I hope that we have more people, young folks who will strive for excellence. Go ahead, Brother Dan.
Oh, so yes, I remember that one.
Oh, thank you. Okay. So we need to, listen, whatever we do, let's put on something, and we're going to try to drive as many of them out. We're going to get the young men from the art program to come out next Saturday, the 15th. They said they'll be there, and I hope that they will. And so, try to start some conversation with these guys. And one of the things that's really sad, I know the young men told me this themselves. Basil Talib, 2 weeks ago, actually spoke to them, and he had his books out, and they were at the Soldiers Grove, and he spoke to them for a long period of time. And then he said, I have one son that I know you all know him and everything, and he's kind of, if you see him, encourage him, tell him to do the right thing and this and that. And then, damn, that happened. So, it's not that, we can try and try and try, and sometimes we'll have someone fall off. But remember those who have not fallen off. Remember those who have. And, we got to work to treat them all the same and get them somehow the help that they need. And, the parents need help too.
Yeah, the help is in Jesus Christ.
Yes, it is.
They
And
can
Jesus
have all
is
kinds
saying,
of material stuff,
yeah, yeah.
but
Jesus
they
is saying
need,
help. Jesus left with us though, the Holy Spirit. So Jesus Christ is in us. So we got to speak to that Holy Spirit that's in us and let Jesus lead us and let that voice lead us. And but here's the thing though, but we got to go to work to do it.
yes,
There was a wonderful march led 2 weeks ago, led by Brother Chris Thomas. They marched all the way down to the Capitol, from what I understand, and they
okay,
prayed. He
yeah.
said it didn't last as long as they wanted to, but guess what? They did it.
They
About
planted a
12.
seed. They planted some seeds. Yep.
Oh yeah. But and you got to plant the seed, water the seed, and you got to keep doing it. You got to keep doing it, and you can't. And listen, I always say this: don't blame it on Jesus. Jesus did his part. So now what we got to do is our part. We got to walk and talk and move and dig and build. Because I said, no, he did his part. He came in. He died on that cross for us. He left
Yes,
the book for us. He left the Holy Spirit for us. So we can call on his name. That's what he told us to do. But he also told us to go forth and do what? Make disciples out of men and
right.
women. And we don't do that just by standing on corners. We do that. We don't do that just by going to church. We do that. We do it everything. It's all part of it. We can't just say, oh, I do this, I'm done. No, you got to do everything. It's hard work. It's relentless work.
We can
And
do
by the
what
way,
we can do what we
work,
can, but it has to start in the home. Yes.
it does. And then by the way, and it doesn't stay in the home. It starts in the home.
Yeah.
It has to start. Yeah, and by the way, back to
We could get them trained up.
Basil did everything he could. He did. And I watched him. I can sit here and say, oh, I didn't like this. I saw him. I mean, he had those boys everywhere. I mean, everywhere. So even at the church, they were over at that Brother in Christ church. He did. He helped out when I didn't even need him to help. I looked up one day and he would come over there helping me to move stuff. And I said, oh, brother, no. He said, no, remember, Nate, come on now. He said, this is what we do. He just started working.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on now.
Mhm.
That's it right there. That's good stuff. So anyhow, it is what it is. I thank you all for coming on. Brother Chris, I think we're about done here. I don't want to take up more of my time. Yep, it's 9:02. I
Oh, is it?
appreciate the videos. Appreciate
Oh,
everybody
yes.
coming on. And hope to see you next week. Okay. I will let you know, by the way, Dr. Dan, what we're going to do with the art gallery. We will start that very soon. Hopefully next Friday we'll have that moving. Okay.
Okay, fair enough. I'll keep watch for it then.
Thank you. I'll make sure y'all get that information. Thank you, Sister Nanette. Thank you.
Yes.
Sister
Everybody have a blessed weekend.
Everybody have a blessed weekend. Keep on working, y'all.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, let's begin, everybody.
Good night. Good night.
Good night. That was that flyer.